This week, Ducati announced the new RVE edition of their Hypermotard 950 with a stunning new look inspired by a concept bike from earlier last year. So in today's video, we'll look back over the specs of the Hypermotard 950 that it's based upon, plus the details of what's extra on this RVE edition. But before we get started, if you'd like to see more of the latest new bike news right here on YouTube, then please do remember to hit subscribe. The Hypermotard stretches right back to its introduction in 2006, with the 950 being the latest iteration, launching at the tail end of 2018 at EICMA. This series of bikes has a reputation for being a wild ride, and the 950 builds upon that aggressive supermoto-inspired character by adding more power and shedding weight from the 937cc Testa Stretta V-twin engine. Ducati managed to get rid of 1.5 kilograms using lighter clutch and generator covers, a lighter selector drum, aluminium belt tensioners, and magnesium head covers. A power increase of 4 horsepower takes its peak up to 114 at 9,000 RPM, and a peak torque of 96 Nm arrives at 7,250 RPM, with Ducati claiming that 80% of it is available as low as 3,000 RPM. A new steel trellis frame with variable section tubes helps to shed another kilogram, whilst the steel trellis subframe of the first few generations of Hypermotard is reinstated after cast aluminium was used on the 821 and 939. The base Hypermotard 950 gets adjustable Marzocchi forks and a Sachs monoshock, whilst braking is taken care of by Brembo's M4.32 radial monoblock calipers on 320mm discs using a radial master cylinder 2. Electronics are comprehensive with a full complement of rider aids enabled by a Bosch 6-axis inertial measurement unit. There's cornering ABS with a slide-by brake function that limits the back end to stepping out by no more than 10 degrees, as well as Ducati's traction control and wheelie control systems. A ride-by-wire throttle means that 3 riding modes are available, with Sport giving the most performance, a perhaps optimistically named Touring mode giving a little more smoothness, and the Urban mode limiting power and engaging the full capacity of the rider aids to make the bike more rideable around town and in adverse weather conditions. A 4.3-inch TFT display is on hand to administer it all, and you can also connect a phone over Bluetooth using Ducati's multimedia system in order to control phone calls, music and text notifications from the switchgear. LED lighting all round with a daytime running light rounds off the tech. It's also worth a quick word on the design of this bike. I love the way the trellis frame looks and prefer the trellis subframe to the previous model. The twin underseat exhausts also look awesome to me, and I dare say I'm partial to a single-sided swing arm. The SP version takes the standard bike and adds higher spec suspension using a fully adjustable 48mm Öhlins fork with an extra 15mm of travel over the Marzoccchis. It also gets a fully adjustable Öhlins shock. That extra length in the suspension adds to the already tall 870mm seat height, taking the SP up to a proper lofty 890mm. If you like to be able to flat foot a bike, this might not be for you, unless you're a bona fide giant. Wheels are also upgraded on the SP with W-shaped forged alloy Marchesinis, which contribute to a couple of kilograms weight saving overall versus the standard bike. Tyres are also up-spec'd with Pirelli Diablo Super Corsa SPs as opposed to the Diablo Rosso 3s, and on top of that you get a sportier paint job and an up and down quick shifter. The base model starts at £10,995 and the SP comes in at $14,595, so the new RVE sits somewhere in between the two at $11,750. That's £755 more than the standard bike, so what do you get extra for your money? The most immediately noticeable difference is the paint job. This colour scheme here is inspired by the Hypermotard 950 concept shown in 2019 at the Concorso d'Eleganza Villa d'Este, which is a fancy car and bike show in Italy, in case you're not familiar. The concept won first place in the snappily named Concept Bikes, New Design and Prototypes by Manufacturers and Independents category. And according to Ducati, it also proved popular on social media, so much so that they decided to make it a reality. So they've translated this paint job over to the Hypermotard 950, and you can see that the end result is pretty damn close. Ducati claims that in wanting to transfer the same manufacturing quality of the concept bike from which it derives to the production motorcycle, it was necessary in the painting phases to employ highly skilled labour, use very low thickness decals, and adopt a particularly long and complex process. The result is comparable to that of an airbrushed bodywork. Although it looks a little bit like a video game paint job to me, I think that given the nature of this bike, something a bit mad and uncompromising, it works pretty well. I even like the half-painted wheels, which isn't something I'd normally go in for. The other enhancement to the RVE is the quick shifter that we've already mentioned as standard on the SP. The Ducati Quick Shift Evo system, or DQS Evo, works both up and down and is integrated with the 6-axis Bosch IMU so that lean angle information is used to ensure that the bike stays stable when shifting mid-corner. Ducati also say that the system acts in a different way for upshifts and downshifts, supplementing the advanced firing and injection action during upshifts with the controlled opening of the throttle for downshifts thanks to the full ride-by-wire system. Earlier I mentioned the £755 price difference between the standard Hypermotard 950 and the RVE. If you were to fit the quick shifter to the standard bike, it'd be a couple of £100 anyway, so if that was your plan, essentially you can view the RVE as a £550 fancy paint option. Personally, I think it looks great, but I always enjoy hearing what you think in the comments below. Would you take the even more in-your-face looks of the RVE, or does the Hypermotard look best in the classic Ducati flat red, especially with an extra £500 in your pocket? Let me know which you choose, and if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.